This is just a personal road note. I'm out here on the roads. Actually, I'm at a friend's house. Left on the 26th of February and have... Hey, Stacy. I've been on the road since the 26th of February. Johnny Davidson, good to see you with me. Nick Day. Just got off a call with Nick Day. Hey, Jerome. So my trip went really well. Left on a Wednesday. Traveled down to Jackson, Georgia. Did an hour. Hunter Fletcher. Hey, buddy. Aaron Harris. Good to see you, too. Jason Shannon Bowers. Hello, friend. So I traveled out on Wednesday the 26th. As far as I remember it, that was the day and the date. And Wednesday night, I made it to Jackson, Georgia, an hour south of Atlanta. And slept, woke up, and did a skate day and an interview with with a board maker, Kenny Petch. That interview went on Facebook Live, but was also simultaneously recorded on my wide angle, and I'll be uploading that when I get home. Kenny has been working at Camp Woodward for 5 years, and is a young board maker, and that was awesome. So that was Thursday. Friday, I got on the bike and rode through 2 hours of beautiful rain, no problems, and finished the next 4 hours puddle jumping my way in front of the storm down to Tampa, and had a delightful ride on Friday. So Wednesday's ride, it only took me like 8 hours to get an hour south of Atlanta, and then on Friday my ride was probably 6.5 hours to where I was staying in Tampa. Had some minor shakeups that I knew could happen with my hotel stay, and my ticketing was not for Sunday. I wanted to make sure I had a Sunday ticket, and my friends in the Welfare Line Skateboard Collectors really hooked me up, took care of me, and made sure that I didn't have any problems. Scott Watts shared a hotel room with me, and Tommy Story. Tommy and I always end up bunking together all the time, and that began the Tommy Story part of my trip. Tommy and I traveled from Friday night all the way through until the night before last, and Tommy and I don't get sick of each other. We just can't get enough. I mean, the guy he's a scream, and he's just through and through. Loves skateboarding and loves stoking people out. And so much so that Mike V picked up Tommy and put him on the Stoke Brigade. And Tommy's just got an awesome life message of Stoke. And his story's worth knowing. And so Tommy and I traveled after the Tampa Pro down to, just a half hour down to Floyd Howard Pruitt, who runs House Upon in Bradenton, Florida, where we met up with some more great folks. Jason Dagner of Dagner Pipes, and Alex Rowland was there. Alex is just a great dude, a painter, an artist, a friend up in Indiana. And we spent time skating parks. We skated during the Pro. We skated St. Petersburg. We skated the Bro Bowl. And after the Pro, we did sunrise sessions at the Bradenton Riverwalk Park. Every day we were there. Skated with Dagner, did some live videos. And then jumped on my bike. Tommy jumped in his car after a few days with Floyd. And we went to Gulfport, Florida, and stayed 3 nights with the Steindl family. and Matt and Katie, and holy cow, and Casey and Hunter. Just Hunter is this rad dude, and neighbor kid. Loved it, and we skated. Let me see if I can remember which park that was. Sarasota. With them, we got to tour and see their local park, which will be open soon. And all I have to say about it is I can't wait to be back down there. Just an outstanding time. Florida is one of my favorites. Just what a great scene. We were down there, and then we left the Steindls and headed out and stayed a night at Jennifer Michelle Miller's house. And Queen of the Line, Tommy calls her. And she sure lives up to it. Her hospitality and her attitude toward life, just amazing. Seriously, and we had super great, deep conversations, and able to talk about things that I don't get to talk about with just everyone, because she has this expansive, generous heart and personality, and just all gratitude to all these people. I mean, it was a really, really amazing trip for me because of the kindness and hospitality and enthusiasm that people have for skateboarding. We left Jennifer's house and traveled to DeLand, where we were treated to one of the best backyard scenes I've been around. I've been in some good places, and these guys were definitely top-notch in terms of the stoke, the joy. Brother Bill Danforth, his backyard ramp over here in DeLand, Florida. And I have a lifelong friend who lives right here in Orange City. So Tommy and I crashed here, and woke up in the morning and Tommy was gone. He went to catch his flight, and I was happy that I was sad. It was awesome. And so without Tommy here, yesterday I went to Bike Week just to have a look around. And that was profitable. I liked it. I know my way around Daytona a little bit. There, I know where the Starbucks is on Harvey and the main strip there. I got the chest cold. I've got a cold. It might be the same one Tommy had. If he gave it to me, then I consider it a gift. Honored to share germs with Tommy. And so yesterday I rode over to Bike Week, and I just, I did a little skating. Got a swell bow, tiny one. Got a little tiny swell bow. I chipped this elbow years and years ago in Memphis, and I had a little fall and fell on it, and I don't really have room for it, but I should really put an elbow pad or two on my bike, because if that had happened earlier in the trip, I would have bought a set of elbow pads for sure. I usually don't fall on my elbows, but I caught one yesterday. It happens. It's what we do. And then rode around Bike Week, rode back, and went out to a great Mexican dinner. Got enough for breakfast. Eggs and fajita for breakfast. And then this family I'm staying with, I've known their kids since they were kids. Now they're men. And we got to go out, grab this awesome coffee, nitro brewed Ethiopian Yirgacheffe dealio, and walk around all the Bike Week street stalls, and pick up a gift for Judy, and just enjoyed the sunshine. It's 90 here, and these tobacco motorwear Kevlar reinforced blue jeans are definitely not chill just being at 90 degrees, even though I've been skating before in 90 degree weather with them, and it's just fine. But in the next hour or so, I'll load up my bike. I don't have a lot of stuff. I'll load it up and get it ready, and tomorrow morning when I wake up, hopefully I'll get up nice and early and hit the road. I'm going to try to make it into Tennessee and have a light ride day tomorrow. The day after tomorrow, I'm going to motor as much as I can tomorrow from 6 a.m. Hopefully I'll go all the way to 6 p.m. And the problem with riding like that is sometimes it puts me just like an hour or two away from home, or 3 hours away from home. and then you're like, well, am I going to stop and rest, or am I going to push through? And the wisest thing is to stop and rest and take the light ride day. The next day, riding a motorcycle tired is something. I mean, I don't do coke or crystal meth or anything like that, so I don't do pills. So I'll probably do the safety dance and pull off and like that. Or maybe I'll stay 8 hours south of my house in Georgia with the Schlagers, but I don't think so. That's not my plan right now. My plan is to burn as much as I can to get home tomorrow, and then see how this cold is going too. I feel pretty darn good, but if the cold is slamming, then I'll definitely. But the temps are in the 40s and 50s up north now. The weather is looking really good. Very, very low chances of rain, if at all. So I'm not even going to waterproof wrap the bike, the boards and stuff on the bike. I'm just going to load up, plain old load, and hit the road, boot up, stick my shoes in the back, and take the highways home. But yeah, really can't thank everybody enough. My dear friends here in Orange City, Bill Danforth, Jennifer Miller, the Steindl family, and Hunter, and yeah, thanks Johnny for saying so. I'm super grateful to all of you. You guys are the reason why I get to travel. And the nice thing is, I have a perfect batch of skateboards ordered up right now. When I come back, I'll be able to just press and run this batch. It's the perfect size. Got about 20 boards ordered in, and I've got about another 20 boards in the wings. Folks who are talking with me about custom work and things like that. So the next week or two are perfect, and I'm so excited to make skateboards again. I love my shop. I miss it. I can't wait to be back in it. And I'm going to be real cozy, and I'll be able to take morning rides and then make skateboards and then take afternoon skates. So thanks everybody, and I will be back at you live from the road as I go. There are always awesome interactions, and there's a lot of interesting stuff that happens every road trip. So and another special thanks goes to Matt Steindl and Tommy Story. I was running low on funds, just in terms of what I'd allocated, and thanks Scott, appreciate you for putting me up at the Pro. I was running low on funds. I mean, the budget just wasn't right, and Tommy said, well, let's raffle your rider, and I was like, wow, not sure, I wasn't sure. We did that before, and when I did a trip to Louisville, and we were able to buy pizza with the raffle money, but this was going toward gas, and I haven't run out of money or had to like rob Peter to pay Paul. I'm not a poor man, but I don't run a super super moneyed existence, and these trips are always done on a wing and a prayer, and there's always that juggling, and I work really hard to ignore the financial questions of life, because I've found it to be true that things work out. You got to do what you got to do, and if things fail, that doesn't scare me. If my business were to fail and I'd have to do something else, that's life. And failing at business is part of doing business at all. Happily, board making is really on the rise, and I'm really happy to be part of a community of board makers in the Makers Movement Facebook group and like that. Some are just hobbyists having a great time. That's like a really awesome thing. It's a really high position thing. I think it's really important for people to have fun making boards. And some people are trying to work up a second career, or maybe a little moonlighting. Some people just want to support the homies with some craft lumber. And other people have their skills kind of waiting in the wings for a good opportunity. Some of the obstacles that face board makers that I've had to overcome over the years are like all the backdoor stuff, like your website, your your advertising, your PR, your social media, all the analytics and stuff that go into the brand work of doing it they are in themselves a skill and a craft. And then there's the demand on graphics. Graphics are really tough because a lot of skateboarders legitimately want really beautiful, perfect graphics, and that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. But a lot of us makers offer a more rustic and homey style of graphic. And I think my interview that's coming out with Kenny Petch, he talks about that because his graphic style is awesome, but is Tommy Story's on my PR team. Tommy, you go back and watch this again, and you'll hear me talk about you. Yes, Tommy is the network master. He's really awesome. He's got it going on. And then there's the craft of actually building a mold. Mold building is demanding. So mold building and press building and laminate work and glue rolling and all those are a craft. And then graphic creation and like that's a craft. And then there's another craft, which is the PR and the analytics and the social media and all that aggregation, and that's a craft. And back in the day, you used to be able to have a pro would start a brand. They already had a name. I'm not sure how well that worked, though. I mean, I really don't think a lot of people got stupid rich off it or anything like that. And I tend to think that it's going really, really well for me. I am happy that every year more and more people are buying boards from me, and it looks like the boards are going to good homes and dying the right deaths, and I'm very, very grateful and very, very. I'm really looking forward to what's next, which is just making more boards. In the next few years, I want to go from making 100 boards a month to 200 boards a month, and I guess one way that can happen is if everybody would find over the next month, if everybody would find a thing I post that really speaks to you, Instagram or whatever, and tell people about Fickle Skateboards and my work. I think, in the past, even the recent past, I've been really strident about the skateboard industry, and I stand by a lot of my critique, and I think my tone has been self-controlled to a great extent. I try really hard to, talk about things in a way that I won't regret later. But my personal happiness levels have been rising this year very, very much. I've been so much just plumb happier. And it's made a huge difference. My productivity is way up. And a lot of the things that I've critiqued and a lot of the things that I've snarled up with haven't changed. I've changed. I've grown. And it's with the support of friends like Tommy Story and Bill Danforth and folks who've come and stood beside me, and people who've loved me along the way, like Scott Watts and the Steindls and Jennifer Miller and my friends here who put me up for the night and who value my life and value my work as a friend, and who see that my work in skateboarding is an extension of my belief that playing with these wooden toys should really bring us all together. We're all so diverse, and we should embrace that and embrace our imperfections and embrace the mistakes of the past, and we should forgive each other. We should definitely not capitalize on pointing out each other's faults. And we should also be vigilant to point out where we can do better. So I'm about to receive a phone call. I've got to go. But I'll be back at you soon. And I'll be reporting from, yes, the love of the Welfare Line and the Never Was community. Welfare Line skateboard collectors, bunch of kooks who are passionate about the beauty of skateboarding, and they love skateboards. They love reissues and OGs, NOS, and all that, and never had any sense of being a serious collector. And they have I've caught the bug, and I'm happy to be blessed with a little collection of my own now, and I can see it. I can see skateboards on my walls. I can see my, I've been in the living rooms like Johnny Davidson's house, and these amazing arrays of history on the walls. And I've always been afraid to follow trivia and history because I haven't felt like part of it. As a skater, I've spent a lot of years skating alone, and I also in the Midwest have spent a lot of years being told that I was too old to skate, that I was not good enough to contribute to the community, and it hurt. It hurt, and I didn't take that sitting down either. I spoke back and talked about the overarching issues. I didn't put people on blast. That wasn't the way I engaged those things. I spoke about the bigger issues, and a lot of you actually started following me back then as you recognized universal experiences in that. I think skateboarding has opened up a lot. I think that skateboarding has grown as a community, and that we are much more exciting about, we're much more excited about that kind of diversity in our styles and in our personalities and personae who are out there. So I think the next 10 years look really, really good. I'm 10 years in now. I started Fickle Skateboards in 2008 and started building my presses in 2009. So come up 2020 will be the 10th year I've been putting out boards, which is exciting. So this marks the 10th year that I have been working the skateboard making, and I'm really, really pleased. And the trips that I'm taking are coming together really, really well. I have more and more folks who welcome me to come stay with them and skate with them, and I am really, really stoked about it. So thank you all for joining me for a few minutes. I wanted to check in and let you know that tomorrow morning I'll be leaving early, and I'll check back with you from the gas stations because it's just been super pleasant, and then it will only be a day or two, and I'll be checking back in with you from the workshop, slathering up. I've got some decks already pressed, and I will be pressing up the balance and getting things moving in the workshop. I'm excited. I'm going to be playing with some fun layups for this batch. So thank you everyone for tuning in and spending time with me, and I hope that you enjoy this video, those of you who catch it on the YouTube or who watch it on Facebook. Yeah, thank you. And as always, hi Mom, I love you.